Hey everyone, Homostar Fan 13 here, and Happy New Year, everybody! Yeah, we made it. We made it to 2024, and yeah, last year was all right, wasn't it? Obviously, it's been a weird year, I feel, but one thing I was very happy about last year was that I got my gaming collection series finished. You know, I got all the final videos all done. But the problem is that I look back on them and I go, they always feel they're always going to be out of date because like the Switch one I made in like 2022, that's super out of date. Even like the PlayStation ones, even like PSP, PlayStation, like all those videos, like so many of them are out of date, and it's a shame because I look back at them and go, oh, I didn't get to talk about this game and that. So what I've decided to do is at the start of every new year, I'm gonna do a update. I'm gonna do a game collection update video where I go through all the new games that I've acquired since those like in the year. So of course this one will be a bit different because this is going to count some 2022 games and it won't be all of like 2023 because some of the videos I did do in 2023 like the PlayStation 5 and 4 stuff. So this is kind of like just an update from when those videos finished, and then next year will be like a proper like year overview of the games I got, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I'm going to go through all the new games I've gotten since I made specific collection videos. So like some of them will be from 2022, most of them will be from 2023, but yeah, just an update from all of my collections. So it won't really be in any like specific order. I'm going to hopefully mostly do it in like console order. Maybe like next year I'll do them in like the order I got the games. But this year we're just going to do it in this order because it's just simpler, just the easiest. So we'll start off with N64 and the one N64 game I've gotten, and that's Buck Bumble. What about now? It's time to rock with the Bickety Buck Bumble. Yeah, the only reason anyone cares about this game is the theme tune, but it is a good theme tune. So I think I watched the OSW review. They talked about this game in one of their like videos, and I saw it in my retro shop and thought, yeah, let's get it for fun. I've not played much of it. I've only played it like once. I need to get a it's like a what's it called? Like I think for my N64 I need like a memory pack. I think that's it. Not memory pack, something like that. I need like a thing for my N64 to save in this game. Otherwise I can't save. But yeah, not played it a lot since then. But I remember the bits of that I did play were pretty fun. So yeah, Buck Bumble. So yeah, that was the only N64 game I got. And now we move on to PlayStation. And first up, Tarzan. So one of my favourite games when I was younger, like a game I used to play a lot all the time when I was younger. I actually saw Tarzan for the first time last year. Watched a bunch of the classic Disney movies last year, and yeah, Tarzan was a pretty fun film. And I just have a lot of nostalgia for this game. Like, it's a fine game as it is. Like, I haven't played much of it. Like, that's the one thing you'll notice, that a lot of these games I haven't like put too much time into it. Like, there might be some games which I've like played a lot, but this one I haven't played a lot since. Since I was a child, but it's just nice to have it in my collection again. And move on to the another PlayStation game I finally got back in my collection, Overboard. Okay, first things first, this cover sucks. Like, it's that awkward thing of like putting the cover on the cover. Like, I don't know why. Obviously, it's like this must be like a special edition thing or something. Oh, it's part of a multi-pack. It says there. Can you see that? Yeah, it says part of a multi-pack. So it must have been like it was released in like 4 places or something. But yeah, so if you've never heard of this game, it's quite obscure. I really like it. I think this is called Shipwreckers in America. It's a little game where you play as like a little like pirate ship and you just shoot stuff, and yeah, it's interesting. It's quite cool, and got a lot of memories for it. So I was happy to get this in my collection again. Next up, to continue my getting all the wrestling games, ECW Hardcore Revolution, or Hardcore ECW Revolution. This is a terrible game, and I think everyone knows that these ECW games suck. I think they also there was another game after this called Anarchy Rules, which is basically the exact same game. But yeah, like these are just terrible. I think I actually just read the other day that like the plan was that we're going to make a sequel that was going to be way bigger. But then ECW went out of business, so they just had to release they had to release a very quick sequel because they were like, I guess, contracted to make another ECW game. But yeah, I only played a bit of it, but again, just to have it in my collection to have all the ECW games. And last time on PS1, I don't know if I wanted to count this one because I'm kind of having issues with this one, and that's International Track and Field 2. So another one of these games from my childhood that I loved. Really loved having this game. I think this was one of those games we'd play around my uncle and auntie's house all the time. Problem is that my copy doesn't work. I bought this at the retro shop and it's not working. I put it on my PlayStation, it just doesn't come up. It says disk read error, and I don't know what the issue is. So I don't know. Maybe I'll send this to him and see if he can fix it or something, or I just need to try again. But yeah, it's a shame because I really want to get this game working because it's so much fun. I love the track and field games. I got a lot of and this one specifically got lots of memories of this. So yeah, hopefully I can get this one working. But yeah. So for PS1, and now we move on to PS2. And first up, hey, it's Crazy Taxi. Yeah, I've been wanting Crazy Taxi for ages, and finally got a copy of it on PS2. Yeah, I mean, I've not played much of it, but I've played it every now and then. Like even before I got this copy, I played a lot of it. I got it on Steam as well. But yeah, Crazy Taxi, it's just a classic, Sega game. They announced they're making a new one because Sega announced they're making new versions of all their old franchises, and Crazy Taxi is one of them. Can't wait. But yeah, honestly, I'll talk about it later. But yeah, Crazy Taxi, really, it's a classic. You kind of need this in your collection. Ooh, next up, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. So obviously we had the new Mortal Kombat last year, which I'll get to later. But this is the one that this is like the underrated one that everyone says is like really good. I've only played at the first level, and yeah, it's really fun. So this is not a fighting game. This is a beat 'em up where you play as Liu Kang and Kung Lao, and it's actually a really good idea. And I think they were going to do a sequel to this with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but this game unfortunately didn't sell well, so it just never happened because this was kind of like, I don't want to say it was the dark days of Mortal Kombat, I guess you could say, like back when it was the 3D era where it was in between like the classic, arcade games and then the modern ones where Mortal Kombat was just not the big franchise it was or what it would become. But yeah, if you can find a copy of this one, highly recommend it. It's, again, I only played a bit of it, but it's really good from what I've played so far. I need to play more of it at some point. And that's on PS2. Pac-Man Rally. Yeah, I randomly saw this in my local CEX the other day when I was out with my friends, and yeah, I just really wanted this game because I like racing games, I like Pac-Man, and yeah, again, only played like a bit of it, but from what I played, it's really fun. Yeah, they definitely pick this one up if you can find a copy of it, because it's, obviously this was the era of every franchise had to have its own racing game, but Pac-Man kind of works with it, and it's got some nice mechanics to it, so yeah, if you can find a copy of it, pick it up. Next up we got the GameCube, and first up, finally happy I've got a copy of this one again, Burnout GameCube. So I think I actually had a couple of PS2 copies of Burnout, but I think I bought like 2 copies of them, and both of them were just glitched to hell and just would not work. So I then picked up this GameCube version, and yeah, this one works. So it's a shame that it's the GameCube version and not the PS2 one, which is the one I grew up with, but I'm just happy to have it again, and I guess I'm close to getting all the Burnout games. There's a couple of PS2 ones I still need to get, but so far I'm close to getting all the Burnout games. Unfortunately, the case is kind of broken, which is a shame, but I don't really care too much. For me, as long as the game works, I'm fine with it. Like, I don't really care about the condition of the case. As long as the game's in there and the game works, I'm happy. So yeah, I mean, there's probably no reason to go back to this one. Like, Burnout 3 is obviously just so much better than any of the early Burnouts, and obviously Burnout Paradise as well, but it's nice to go back to this to see how the franchise started. And please bring Burnout back. Please, it's been so long since we last had a Burnout game. Damn it, EA, I hate you. Next up, not much to say about this one, FIFA Football 2004. I think I've mentioned in my old collection videos that I'm trying to get FIFA on every console, and this is just the next one. Yeah, it's just FIFA, nothing else to say. But next up, probably the biggest game I got next year, the biggest game I got last year, Mario Party 6. Yeah, this was quite expensive. I want to say it was like £60 or something, but now I just need to get Mario Party 7, and I have every Mario Party game. That's the one I'm waiting for now. That's currently the game I'm saving up for, is Mario Party 7. I've not played much of Mario Party 6 yet, because I'm kind of making my way through the previous ones. I just beat Mario Party 3 on Switch Online, so I'll probably be moving on to Mario Party 4 afterwards. But hopefully next year, when I do this video next year, I'll have a copy of Mario Party 7. But yeah, I think people say this is the best one because this is the sun and moon mechanic, and I think people say this is the best one because of that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going to this one once I've finished all the other Mario parties. Because like I said, just going them in order. But yeah, so far this is probably probably the most expensive like old game I got this year or last year. It's that time where this is that period of like January where you just keep saying this year when you actually mean last year. That's what we're going to be saying for like, I don't know, until halfway through the month. That's what everyone does. Okay, next up is PSP, and starting off with a couple of games that come from my old games that I finally rebought this year. First up, Football Manager Handout 2010. So yeah, I have so much memories of playing the Football Manager games on PSP. They're just super like fun. I mean, Football Manager's not for everyone, but like there are a lot of games out there that aren't for everyone. But that doesn't make them bad. Like people like play Football Manager for their whole lives, and this one's like, obviously this is nowhere near as like in depth as the newer ones. But I think that's why I kind of prefer these ones, because I cannot get into the newer ones. They're way too like complex and that. This one's just kind of simple, and that's why I like it. Like, I wanted just to get any of the Football Managers on PSP, and I just saw this one in CEX, so I just picked it up. Because 2010 is kind of an era that I know about. It's kind of an era that I know a bit about. Like, it's the classic era for me is 2010. So yeah, happy to get that one. Next up, Sonic Rivals 2. Yeah, I think I've got both Sonic Rivals games now. This was the one I grew up with. And yeah, they're not... I like them. I have a lot of fun with these games. But they're not like... I wouldn't say they are must-have for Sonic fans. Like, unless you're like the super big Sonic fan who needs to have every game in the series, you can pick it up. But if you're like a casual one, you don't need to like go out of your way to get it. And obviously with it being PSP, it's a very, very rare game to... Not a rare game, but like it's a... You know, it's started on the PSP. Not everyone has a PSP. It's never been ported to anywhere else. So, yeah. Don't go out of your way to find it, but if you do have a PSP, pick it up because it's not bad. And the last of the games I finally got a copy of again, Secret Agent Clank. So apparently a lot of people don't like this game. I have a lot of nostalgia for this one because again I had it when I was younger. Haven't played it yet, like I've been sort of busy with a lot of other games recently, but I'm looking forward to sort of picking it up again and playing through it again. I never beat it when I was younger, but hopefully I can beat it again. Hopefully I can now beat it, that I'm now older and know more about games and that. So now we just have other games that I picked up for the PSP. First off, Burnout Legends, another Burnout game. I don't think I played much of this one. Like, I don't really know much about it, but again, another Burnout game. Just need to get a couple of the PS2 games and I've got all of them. So yeah, that's just another game for the Burnout collection. Next up, this is a good one. This is quite a... yeah, sort of an expensive one. Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. So this was a full-on remake of Mega Man X. Yeah, so this was quite... I want to say it was quite expensive, like £20. Not too expensive, but like for PSP games it is. But yeah, it's just kind of an odd sort of game, because there was also a Mega Man 1 remake on PSP, which I really want to get, called Mega Man Powered Up. That's what I want. But I just saw this in CEX and I was like, I had enough money for it, so I thought, yeah, it's a cool thing for the collection. And I would like to get into the Mega Man series, and this has never been released on anything else. Like, this isn't on like Switch or PlayStation or whatever, so this is the only way to play this game. So yeah, that's kind of why I wanted it. Yeah, that's basically it. I only played a bit of it, only played the first level, and it's still hard, but whatever, that's what it is. Also, apologies if you can hear that. It's just started raining outside, and it's currently winter in England, which means there's like a 90% chance it's going to rain. It has rained all Christmas, and it's been really sad. Anyways, next up, another Crazy Taxi game, Crazy Taxi Fare Wars. So this is actually more of a this is basically more of a collection. This is basically Crazy Taxi 1 and 2, which is pretty cool. I thought it was either going to be like a full-on new game or just like an updated version of Crazy Taxi 1. So that's got Crazy Taxi 2 in there as well. It's cool. I'm happy about that. So yeah, not much to say, just Crazy Taxi on the go. So that's awesome. Next up, a game I've wanted for years. Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Tag Team. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi on the PSP. Obviously, with the new one coming out, hopefully this year, Sparkling Zero, I thought now was the time to pick up the one Dragon Ball Z sort of game I haven't got. Thankfully, this was in my CEX, and I picked it up as soon as I could because I didn't know when it was. If it was, I didn't want someone else to pick it up before I could. But yeah, basically Tenkaichi was like it's 2-on-2 battles, which is sort of a unique way of playing the game. But yeah, like again, not played much of it, but just happy to get in the collection finally. And last up, we've got, of course, the 2 UMD videos, because I've still been collecting these again. So we've got The Office Season 1 and Night at the Museum. I've seen The Office on PSP, haven't watched Night at the Museum yet, because I just need to, with the movies, I want to wait until I've got like a sort of a road trip that I want to, so that I can just sort of watch stuff on there. But yeah, Office is hilarious, super fun. I haven't seen this movie in years, but I remember really liking it when I was younger, so I'll be excited to watch this again. But yeah, just continuing the UMD video collection because I just find them really neat. Next up, we've got the Wii. Some Wii games, and first up, Fling Smash. Yep, I saw this in the CEX and was like, well, I've got to pick it up. I'm a Scott the Woz fan. I have to pick Fling Smash up. I feel like I've got most of the sort of Scott the Woz games now. I think the only one I need to get is Madden 08. Like, no interest in NFL whatsoever, but I want Madden 08 because of Scott the Woz. Yeah, I played a bit of this, and it's pretty cool. Like, I don't know, I guess I don't really understand like the joke behind it. I think it's just because it's such a weird like Nintendo release. It's like the Nintendo release that no one cares about. I guess that's sort of the joke, that like no one talks about this as a Nintendo game. But yeah, if you see a copy of it, why not? It was quite cheap, and yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Next up, Excite Truck. I have not played much of this one yet, but it's just another one of those ones I just want on the collection because it seemed like a pretty fun game. This was a launch title for the system, I remember. I don't know why I never had it, like, because I feel like I would have enjoyed it at the time. I just don't know why I never got it. Apparently, you can put your SD card in, you can put like original you can have a custom soundtrack on there, but I have no idea how to do it. I don't know if it's because I'm using the Wii U and maybe that means it can't work, or because of the SD card I have. But I would really love it if I could put the custom soundtrack on here. But yeah, like, I feel like most people probably do have this game yet, but I don't think I've played it yet, but it'll be one I'm looking forward to having a go at. And these last three I'm just going to do together. That's SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, 2009, 2011. So basically, I was in a CEX one day, really bored, waiting for something to just happen, and I saw that all these games were available, and I just thought, screw it, it'll be fun. Yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to pick up these games on Nintendo Wii, and I would say these two games are kind of different. This one seems like it's just like the PS2 version, but these two actually have some original content in there. Like, 08 is a completely different game. Like, there's no sort of season mode. Most of the match types have been removed. It's like, this is like the worst version to get. 09's actually fine. I think 09 is pretty cool. It's the full game, but it's got like original like entrance motions to it. Like, you can use the Wii remotes and actually do the entrances for them. I think if you can see on the back. Yeah, it says that like interactive entrances and victory scenes, which is really cool. Like, the fact that this version had its own unique stuff to it actually gives you a reason to buy this one. I don't see any reason to get this one on Wii. I think it is legit just the same game. I might sort of try and find the other games for Wii just because I think it'll be fun. But at this moment in time, like, I think I'm happy with these. Next up, we've got PS3. Only 2 PS3 games this year. First up, this one was quite a big one that I finally got. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, Ultimate Sith Edition. So this was the sort of like the Game of the Year edition, I guess you would say, where it's got all the DLC for it. It's really hard trying to, when I went to CX to get this game, and I saw they had this copy, I had to make it very clear that they put the actual disc in. Like, thankfully they put the actual right disc in, because I think I was convinced they were going to just put the regular Force Unleashed disc in there. So I thankfully made sure that they put the proper disc in it. This game is way harder than I remember it being. I remember I had this game when I was younger. This is so much harder than I remember it being. I got quite far into it. Like, I don't know how far I got into it. I think I just, spoilers I guess, but I don't know if anyone cares. I just got to the bit where Darth Vader fake betrays you, and then you're like doing a mission to overthrow the Emperor, something like that. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not canon anymore. Although it wouldn't surprise me if in a few years' time Disney decided to bring Force Unleashed, like Starkiller, back to the main series because nostalgia and all that. But yeah, it's a pretty fun game. Like, it's difficult, but I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I think I stopped playing it because I was one of my new games sort of came out at the time I was playing it, so I kind of like drifted away to something else, which happens a lot when you're trying to with your backlog and that. That's on PS3. We got the Tomb Raider trilogy. So not much to really say about these games. I've played a bit of the first one, but not much. I bought this because one game you won't be seeing here is because I'm not doing my digital collection because that would just be too long and it's just hard to record that stuff. But I got the 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider. Fantastic game. Like, definitely pick that up. It's on PlayStation Plus. Definitely pick up that game because it is so good. And I'm looking forward to playing the other games in that series. But yeah, super good. And it got me into the Tomb Raider series, and I wanted to sort of play the older ones. But yeah, I only played the first one at the moment. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to playing them more at some point. Maybe like, because I see they're releasing the Tomb Raider trilogy this year, the old ones on like PlayStation, so I might get that one as well. Now we have the 3DS games. First up, Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Can you just see that? Yep. So I really want to get into the Zelda franchise, and it's really hard to know what best game to start off with. So my friends actually told me, like, this is a good game to start off with. So I got it, and I beat it, and I absolutely love it. This is a fantastic game. This actually might be now up there as one of my favourite 3DS games. Like, this is my favourite Zelda game, but it's because it's the only one I've really beaten. But yeah, I really like this game. So if you're someone like me who was kind of on the fence on trying to get into Zelda, definitely try and pick this one up because it's super good. I want to try and get Link's Awakening, but I haven't got it. I haven't managed to get it yet. But yeah, really good game. And I guess I'll just move on to the other Zelda game I got here, which is Ocarina of Time 3D. So yeah, when I mentioned when I told my friends that I had played Link Between Worlds, they sort of said that Ocarina of Time 3D is probably the best sort of 3D game to start on with, so I picked this one up as well. Not that far into this one. I think I've just done the Goron dance, so that seems, I'm pretty sure that's very early on. But yeah, I would definitely get into this game at some point as well. Yeah, hopefully this will be the start of my Zelda fandom. Last up for 3DS, Regular Show, Mordecai and Rigby in 8-Bit Land. So I love Regular Show. Regular Show might be my favourite sort of modern Cartoon Network show, like from 2010s. I think it was really funny and really good. It was such a shame that his sequel series, Close Enough, got cancelled after like 3 seasons, because I like that one as well. This game is terrible, by the way, though. It's such a shame, because it's like Way Forward, and it's like, that could have... Way Forward is such a weird company, because they make some great games, but they also make some trash. It's such a shame, because you could have really made a really fun Regular Show video game, but they just didn't care. They just didn't care. This was almost a job for them, and was probably like had to release it in a certain time. But yeah, don't pick this one up. If you're a fan of Regular Show, don't pick it up. Just watch the show again because it was really funny. And next up, that was the last 3DS game. Now we're on to my only Wii U game of the year, FIFA 13. Again, just doing the FIFA collection series and that, and yeah, this is actually the only FIFA game that got released on Wii U. Weirdly enough, like, this is the only one to ever come out on Wii U. And from what I can gather, it's just FIFA 12. But you know, again, I like the FIFA games, but I had an idea of doing a whole series when I get all of them, doing like a whole sort of series of playing them. But at this point, I just want them just because I think it's fun, just having them all. But yeah. So if you have a Wii U and you want to play FIFA, this is the only one you can get. And now on to the more modern system, so I'll probably have a lot more to say about these games. First up, the PS4, which is the only one I got from PS4, which is Team Sonic Racing. Yeah, I wanted this game for quite a while. Finally got it for Christmas, which was pretty cool. Nice. It's also cool because it's the 30th anniversary one, so as you can see, it comes with the artwork, which is pretty cool. Nice little things. Hey, look, all the original like designs for Sonic. Yeah, pretty cool. It's a fine, like, sort of little racing game. It is just like the Sonic games, the old Sega racing games, but just Sonic characters. I can't get it in my mind. But yeah, like I actually do quite like the team mechanic. The team mechanic's actually quite cool. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be like a sort of a stupid gimmick, but it actually is kind of fun. So yeah, if you've not picked this game up yet, definitely give it a go. It is actually pretty cool, huh? So now we are on to PS5 games. First up, AEW Fight Forever, and I guess I'll just also mention that I've got it on Switch as well. I decided I wanted it on both consoles. So, I think this is a bit of a letdown for me. It's a fun game, like it can be fun at times, but there's just not a lot to do here. And the problem is that the way the matches are, like, I think this is a game that's a lot more fun with friends. I think that's it. So I think if you're with friends and you just want to like have a mess around, this is probably the best game for that. If you want to actually play like a serious wrestling game, like how I like to, you're gonna be let down. There are some things that this game does better than like the PlayStation, the WWE stuff. Like the hardcore matches are way more fun in this game, and honestly, that's kind of it. Which is a shame because I was really excited for it. I don't think it's a bad game. Like I see, this might just be like the typical like AEW haters, but I see so many people go like, "Oh, this is one of the worst games of the year." It's like, no, it isn't. It's not one of the worst games of the year. It's also not one of the worst wrestling games ever. Like, I would rather play this over like Legends of Wrestling or any of that crap. Like, it's not a good game, but to say it's one of the worst of all time, just stop overreacting. It's fine for what it is. Although the way they're trying to do their DLC is pathetic, and if I'm going to call out WWE's DLC practices, I'm going to call out their DLC practices as well. So yeah, only play it if you want to like a game to mess around with. Oh, speaking of bad DLC practices, Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, I pre-ordered this, got it. I got the early edition, so I bought all the DLC for it. Yeah, it's fun. Mortal Kombat 1 is a fun game. But as just mentioned, they are once again another one of those games that do the DLC really badly, and I hate them for it. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. I haven't actually played this for a while. I think I got really it was the combination of new games coming out and also just feeling a bit fed up with the way sort of they were doing the microtransactions and stuff like that. I just like this costed like almost like £70. Oh, probably more than that because I got the special edition, like the DLC and that. And then they want you to pay more for like in-game stuff. Absolutely not. That is pathetic. And this isn't the only fighting game that would be doing this because we'll be seeing another one in a minute. But it's predatory, and I hate these games are doing it. But we keep buying them, so they just keep doing it. Finally, a good game. Battle Spider-Man 2. Yeah, people seem to be really mixed on this one. I loved it. Like this probably is my favorite game of the year. Like it was just so much fun. The gameplay was great. Story has got good moments to it, but it's got some moments to it as well. But overall, way more positive than negative. I really did love this game. I'm looking forward to the DLC that comes out, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next for this series. Yeah, keep it up, Insomniac. Insomniac are probably becoming the best developers, like Sony's best developers now, because they did the Spyro stuff, they did the Ratchet and Clank stuff. They got a Wolverine game coming out, which is, from what I can gather, looks pretty good. But yeah, keep it up, Insomniac. You guys are doing great stuff. Next up are Hot Wheels 2 and Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. Yep, I've played a bit of this one. It kind of is just the same game, just again. There's a couple of extra stuff to it. Like I think you can jump in this game now. You can play with bikes and quad bikes and that. But and there's a couple of extra like game modes to it, like elimination matches and sort of like checkpoint races and that. But honestly, it's kind of is just the same game as the first one. So if you enjoyed that one, then you'll probably like this one as well. Yep, nothing else to say about that. Next up, Lego 2K Drive. Yeah, this one's actually quite fun. So You can see driving game with Lego stuff. It's just nice to see another new Lego game, like not just another Lego Star Wars or Lego DC or whatever. It's nice to see an actual proper Lego game for the first time in who knows how many years. Like probably since Lego City Undercover, when that was the early days of the Wii U, and even then before that, I don't know how long it's been since you've had a proper, normal, original Lego game. And yeah, it's pretty fun. The fact that you can download other people's creations is great, so everyone just creates some cool stuff. People have actually created like the Lego Racers cars, so I've got Rocket Racer and that, which is super cool. I love that they've done that. This does have microtransactions in it, unfortunately, but to my knowledge, there doesn't really seem to be. It doesn't seem to be that bad. Like the fact that you can just download people's like creations and there's no like sort of monetary thing for that. I don't really need to do that. Like they've got season passes for like new cars and that, but I just don't really see the point of it. If you can just download people's creations, like why pay for extra cars? Like there's no need for it. But yeah, it is a pretty fun game. Yeah, it seems pretty fun. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Now, speaking of microtransactions in fighting games, Street Fighter 6. So not pretty much. Okay, first thing first. This cover art sucks. What is this? Why did they think this was a good idea? I thought they did an updated version, but apparently not. This is apparently just what the cover looks like. Terrible cover. But yeah, Street Fighter 6. It's just Street Fighter game. If you like Street Fighter, you'll like it. I don't mind Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter's. I'm more Mortal Kombat and Tekken, but I do enjoy Street Fighter, and I'm happy that I've got a copy of it. The microtransactions, though, are just insufferable, and the DLC is just... Again, this is another full-priced game that's filled with microtransactions. Like, you want extra stuff for you can create your own character in this one, so you want extra costumes for your character? That's going to cost money. You want some new characters? Going to cost money. Want costumes for your characters? That's going to cost money. Do you remember back in the day when you would just unlock those things by playing the game? Now, everything that was unlockable back in the day is now something you've got to pay for. It's pathetic, and I hate it. I think maybe you can, like, unlock the currency in this game normally, but I don't know how to do that. It could just be another one of those situations where it's currency you only have to pay for, and I hate that. Again, full-priced game. Full-priced game. Should not have to rely on microtransactions. Pathetic. Again, it seems fun from how much I've played of it, but still. Next up. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Yep, just another sequel to, again, similar to that Hot Wheels one. It's kind of similar to the first one, but actually no, this is just better than the first one in almost every way. Like legit, it's just a better game. So it's still like, obviously it's still a Smash clone, like a clone. Still fun. It's nowhere near the level of Smash, but it is pretty fun. And I'm pretty like, again, if you like Nickelodeon characters, yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's just funny that it's like the only Game Mill made or published this year that was actually any good. Like Game Mill, man, they're the modern day LJN. They just are. Like they make some of the worst games. Well, again, publish some of the worst games, and then every now and then they make this one. But again, that was only because they had managed to get a Smash Bros. Like clone developer to make it, which I'm almost certain was an accident. They didn't actively go out and get a good developer for this. It was just, oh, you guys make these kind of games, make this one, But yeah, it's a good game, but just, for what it is, it's fine, And that's on PS5, KO the Kangaroo. Yeah, it's nice to see that we're seeing more 3D platformers again. This was a reboot of a character, like a very old, like sort of PS2 era sort of character, which is nice to see. It's nice to see these characters sort of getting a revival. Again, I've only played at the first level, and from what I've played, it seems pretty fun. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Yeah, there we go. And last up, we've got the Nintendo Switch section, which is going to be the biggest because obviously that was made in like 2022. So I've got way more games for the Switch since that. So first up, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Absolutely fantastic. This is 100% my favourite Kirby game now. And maybe one of my favourite games on the system. Like, it's just so crazy that it took Kirby so long to become 3D. And they finally do it, and it's one of the best games in the whole franchise. Like, just because I think I've mentioned in my Switch one when I did Kirby Star Allies, Kirby was getting a bit sort of safe. Like the last few Kirby games, like Star Allies wasn't great, and it was time for a change. They did the change, and I'm so happy they did. Because if you have not played this yet, you are completely missing out because this is a phenomenal game. Next up, from one phenomenal game to a game, Nintendo Switch Sports. Barely played it. I mean, I was quite excited for it, but it's just a bit mediocre, and it's such a shame because Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort was so good, and it's just a shame that Nintendo can't really seem to make these kind of games anymore. And like I say, I barely played it, and it's just because I've not really had any interest in it. Maybe if I did that like friends and family to play it, we'd probably have some fun with it, but I don't know. I think the problem with that is that they're just going to want to play Wii Sports, and I think that's the problem, is that this game doesn't really work as that casual thing because people are just going to want to play Wii Sports over this, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it some more time, but a bit disappointed by this one, huh? Next up, this one will be very quick. Bayonetta 3. Barely played it. Like, legit, barely played it. I think I played like one level, and I don't know. I think you just got to be in the right kind of mood for these kind of games, but yeah, I just wanted it because it just looked fun, and I guess I wanted to support the Bayonetta franchise and that. It's like one of the few M-rated it's sort of like the only sort of adult franchise that Nintendo kind of own. I mean, I know they don't own Bayonetta, but she's basically a Nintendo character at this point. All the games are Nintendo exclusive, and yeah, she's in Smash and that. She's practically a Nintendo character at this point. But yeah, I need to play more of this at some point. Oh, another game that's a bit disappointing. Mario Strikers Battle League Football. Again, I've barely played it, but it's just that's kind of the thing, isn't it? Is that I was super excited for this game when it was announced, and now it's come out and I've just barely played it. And it's not because I've just not had time. I think it's more just I don't want to go back to it because it's just such a... From what was one of my favourite games on Wii, and by one of my favourite developers in Next Level Games, it's just a shame that this is what we got. After so much time waiting for a new Mario football game, this is what we got. And it's just a shame. Hopefully Next Level Games are working on something bigger, and maybe we'll see them do something else. Like, come on, new Punch-Out, please, Next Level Games. But yeah, another disappointment. This one wasn't a disappointment though. SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake. Yeah, SpongeBob is back. Yeah, obviously it's like basically a sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom, and yeah, it's really fun. I mean, obviously for what it is, like in an era where we're getting some really crappy licensed games, as I've mentioned like previously, it was so nice to get a game like this. You know, yeah, it's nothing special. It's just fine. And again, in an era where a lot of licensed games are really bad, it's just nice to see a game like this. And look, we even got a little coin with it. See, look at that, nice coin. Gonna stay down there. So yeah, if you've not picked this one up, definitely pick it up. I think it's on PS5 now, so maybe get that one. One problem I will say is I think they finally fixed it. But when I played this for the first time, they had a weird glitch where you couldn't save your progress. So you couldn't save your progress, and then trying to fix it, I deleted my save file, and then I had to start again, which was really annoying. So yeah, but I think they said they fixed that now. But yeah, definitely pick it up. Definitely fun. Oh, another great licensed game, Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Oh, this one's phenomenal as well. Again, typical. It's based on like a, obviously it's based on the classic Turtles arcade games. I think it's made by the same guys who did Streets of Rage 4, which was also really good. Yeah, just brilliant game. Shredder's Revenge, like it was just so nice to see. Again, like I say, licensed games. So many of them suck. So when you get a game like this, it makes it so much better. It's so happy to see certain franchises be treated well. And Ninja Turtles, I think, is that franchise that will always receive like good games now. Because I know they're doing that last Ronin game, which would be really cool. Yeah, if you've not picked this one up yet, definitely pick it up. Fantastic. I think it's on PlayStation Plus now. So yeah, if you've got PlayStation Plus, you've got no excuse not to pick this one up. Next up, this one's another great one. Super Mario RPG. So, let's go for some story time here. This was the very first time I was ever excited for, interested in a retro game. I remember being young, going on YouTube and watching videos of Super Mario RPG. So it was kind of like that game. And yeah, when I finally did play it, I obviously kind of took me a while to finally sort of get into it. But it still has it still has a place in my heart because of that. And I was waiting for it to go on Switch Online because I was looking for an excuse to finally play it again, and I wanted to wait for it to go on Switch Online. Turns out they were making a full remake, so I didn't have to. That's why it wasn't on Switch Online. And yeah, this is just great. I would say this is like, if you're really into RPGs, you're probably not going to get much out of it. But I think if you're someone who's new to the genre and having trouble like with some of the bigger games, I'd almost say this is the best sort of early RPG to play. Like, because it's simple, it's not too difficult. You've only got 5 characters, but it's still really great fun. And obviously you've got like it's kind of like the Mario and Luigi games as well. This was obviously what probably led to that and the Paper Mario stuff. But yeah, super good. Gino, he's back. He finally came back. That means he's going to be in Smash Brothers now. let's not start that debate. But yeah, if you've not played this yet, definitely pick it up. I think this might be my second favourite game of the year, or third. I'll get to what might be my second favourite after that in a bit. But yeah, super good and super happy that we finally got a remake of this. Next up, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Yeah, this is good. It's obviously Monkey Ball. Monkey Ball games are fun. Really disappointed though that there's no multiplayer in the regular sort of like game. Like, multiplayer is exclusive to minigame stuff, and I don't understand why. Like, I don't get why they would replace I don't know why they would take out multiplayer in that section, because that's where the game is, and I was looking forward to playing that stuff. Like, because my brother's girlfriend, she really loves Monkey Ball, and I was going to get this game so we could play it together. And then when I found out that multiplayer was only exclusive to the mini games, I thought, oh, that was a bit disappointing. I still got it, and I played bits of it, and I do enjoy it, but I was expecting to have more fun with this than I did, because I thought it would be multiplayer in the main section. But again, it's still a good game. Hopefully we get another Monkey Ball game soon, but even if it's just all we get for Switch, I'm happy about that. Oh, here's the one, like my second favourite game of the year, Mario Bros. Wonder. Yep, another. This is what, like, if this is what the new Super Mario Bros. Series looked like, if this is what we got on the Wii U, that series would still be going to this day. This is just a super refreshing 2D platformer after everything that we got in the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I don't know how far. I think I've just finished World 2, so I don't know how far that is into it. Might be still early on, but it's just so unique. The levels are so cool, the enemies and that. It's almost in a way frustrating that Nintendo had this in them and they just kept making like generic new Super Mario Bros. Games. So if they'd made this on the Wii U, that series would still be going to this day. But yeah, just how we got this. Yeah, this might be my second favourite game of the year. It's between this or, I think my favourite game of the year is either Spider-Man or this. Leaning towards Spider-Man, but that's just because I finished that one already. Maybe when I finish this one might be overtake it, but at the moment it's definitely second favourite. Yeah, if you haven't picked it up, definitely pick it up. Okay, one game I've not really played much of yet, Samba de Amigo Party Central. I've only played one song of this one. It was Escape from the City, and I had a blast with it, so I'm happy with my purchase already. Yeah, I like rhythm games, so I was excited for this one. Just need to play more of it. Yep. That's all I've got to say on that one. Next up, Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Not really much to say about this one, it's a port of the Wii game. I played one world of it, and obviously I've already beaten the Wii game, so I like the Wii game, so if I just need a casual game to play, this will probably be like the game I play sort of like handheld mode when when I'm looking for stuff to play when I'm sort of out or something. So yeah, definitely, if you haven't played the Wii version, definitely pick this one up, but I kind of do wonder why they made this remake. I mean, I know it's got more stuff into it, but I just felt like of all the Wii games to get a remake or like a remaster or reload release or whatever, this is kind of the one that didn't really need one. But whatever, it's still a good game, so definitely pick it up if you've not played it before. Next up, Metroid Prime Remastered. Again, I've only played a brief moment of this one, but I quite like what I've played so far. I'm looking forward to sort of having... The problem with these games is I feel like you need to sort of be in the right mood to play them. I just need to find like a right sort of mood to sort of go into this one. I played Metroid Fusion again this year, and that's my favourite Metroid game, so this will be the first time I've really played the first-person sort of style. Yeah, hopefully I enjoy it. Hopefully I get really into this one, and hopefully I get into the Metroid franchise. Again, it was kind of just a way of I wanted to just get in, sort of support the franchise, like a franchise that's has not had the best of luck in recent years. I just wanted to support it. Yeah. And last one, Pokemon Scarlet. So I didn't pick this up at launch because I was disappointed by all the glitches and the like. So I said I'll wait a year and I'll get it then. Apparently it's still not been fixed, but I guess that's better than... I guess at this point I just need to have it, I guess. But, I mean, I was playing it the other day. I was getting frame drops in the first, like, seconds of, like, gameplay. This is a game made for Switch. Like, I can understand, you know, the console games being ported to Switch having frame drops. It sucks, but I can understand why that happens. This is a game that's made exclusively for Switch. It's Pokemon, and it doesn't even look sort of graphically impressive. How does this have frame drops? Like, maybe when I actually start playing it, I'll enjoy it, but I've only sort of, like, done very, very early stuff. Maybe I'll enjoy it at the end of it, but I don't know, I think I just wanted it because, I don't know, I just want to play it, I guess. That's it. Again, disappointed with Pokemon, and hopefully, when they make another Pokemon game, they actually sort that stuff out, and they stop basically being, sort of treating the audience like, oh, you'll accept anything. And unfortunately, the audience will, because this game sold several million copies. But, yeah. Hopefully I'll enjoy it when I actually do get to play it. And, yeah, that's it. That's the gaming collection update. So, yeah, hopefully this will be a regular sort of annual thing. And I'll see you... hopefully I'll be making another video next week. I know I've not really made a lot of videos this year, but... It's cool to sort of like, when I have these ideas of making videos, and then when I actually go to start making them, I kind of like lose interest, or I just go, I can't do it. So hopefully this year will be the year where I actually find something to do. Like, because I enjoy doing the game collection and stuff. I'm going to be doing a DVD collection series this year, and I'm really excited to do that one. But hopefully I'm going to start doing more like, I don't know, casual videos, just me talking, because I have sort of things I want to say, but no way of actually sort of doing it. So we'll see. Hopefully next year will be a better one for my channel. But for the people who are watching, I really appreciate you being here. It doesn't matter how small my sort of views are. As long as the people who enjoy it, I'm happy. And that's kind of it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.